Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's women's hockey game between the Big Red of Cornell and your RPI Engineers. Let's meet the starters for both clubs. First, for Cornell, up forward from Belleville, Ontario, number 9 sophomore Hannah Bunton. Up forward from Burlington, Ontario, number 10 sophomore Brianna Bierman. Up forward from Cleveland, Ohio, number 18 junior Jess Brown. A defenseman from Ottawa, Ontario, number 21 junior Morgan Richardson. A defenseman from Mont-Laurier, Quebec, number 5 junior Cassandra Poudrier. And in goal tonight for the Big Red from Shanty Bay, Ontario, number 31 sophomore Paula Voorhees. And the rest of the Big Red of Cornell. The head coach of Cornell is Doug Darrow in his 10th season. The associate head coach is Daniel Villano. The assistant coach is Edith Racine. Now, introducing the starters for your RPI Engineers. Forward from Belmead, New Jersey, number 10 junior Lauren Wash. Forward from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, number 11 junior Alexa Brushaw. Forward from Guilford, New Hampshire, number 14 freshman Shayna Tomlinson. A defenseman from Troy, Michigan, number 25 freshman Whitney Wren. A defenseman from Burlington, Ontario, number 24 junior Randy Banks. And in goal tonight for the Engineers from Oakville, Ontario, number 30 senior Brianna Piper. And the rest of the RPI Engineers. Head coach of the Engineers in his 12th season is John Burke. The assistant coaches are Melanie Green and Derek Alfama. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your headwear for the playing of the national anthems of Canada and the United States by the RPI Pep Band.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Houston Fieldhouse for today's women's hockey matchup. It's the RPI Engineers versus Cornell Big Red. Cornell currently in 5th in the ECAC, Engineers in 9th. Cornell trying to rebound on a 3-game skid, while the Engineers trying to pick up their 2nd in a row here tonight. So let's talk a little bit about the goaltenders. For Cornell, we have Paula Voorhees. She's a sophomore from Shanty Bay, Ontario, with a 2.63 goals against average and .915 saves percentage. And then for the Engineers, we have Brianna Piper. She's a senior from Oakville, Ontario, with an .885 save percentage and a .336 goals against average. Here in Troy, New York, it's about 10 degrees outside, about 50 degrees warmer inside here at the Houston Fieldhouse. It's warming up for hockey. Let's get ready to go. As we await the puck drop. Back beyond the blue line, on the far side. Bringing it up. Blocked just after the red line. Wash now. The Engineers taking it back to go forward. Past the far side. Bringing it up the far side. Past the blue line, staying on side. As Big Red pushes back. Bringing it back in is Wash. She's going to dump it in. Engineers go for a quick line change. Still in the zone. Cornell now. Engineers trying to regain possession before leaving the blue line. Now bringing it in once again. Pushed back out. As the Engineers, that was Alice Voda trying to bring it back in. However, it was just after across the line. That's going to lead to an offsides call. There's our face-off. Face-off won by Cornell in their own zone. Pass up to Fulton. Fulton now. Engineers break that up. Fulton again. Fulton passing it up. Engineers, that's Shelter in the back. Passing it up. Past the blue line. Shook it into Walsh. Walsh able to get it past the blue line. As Cornell regains possession, they're going to bring it up. Pass intended for Fulton. I believe it bounced out. So about 1:30 here, puck going back and forth. No clear trends so far. So we await the puck drop. Won by the Engineers. On the far side, bringing it up. Pass was intended for Mankey, as Cornell is able to push it back in. Rooney. And pass just bounced off Rooney's stick. That's going to make it all the way down the ice, make an icing call. It's going to send the puck all the way back into the Engineers zone. As we await the face-off. Face-off won by Verman. Back behind the Engineers' net. Holding on to it is Bunton. Still with it, passing to the far side. To the point. Trying to keep it in. Successfully keeping it in was O'Connor. Almost lost it. Second slap at it, was able to keep it in the zone. Engineers now. Going up 2-on-2. Slapped in, goes over the net. Engineers get a quick line change in. Wash trying to keep it past the blue line. Unable to do so as Brown pushes it out. Back in the zone. Cornell able to get it out. Engineers with it again. Cornell's going to go for a line change to bring it up. Pass to Wash. He was able to get it in just past the line. No offsides call. Cornell now bringing it back in. There's Poutier held up by Schilter of the Engineers. With a wraparound. With a wraparound, almost like Piper didn't see it necessarily. She was looking in the other direction. Luckily for the Engineers, they weren't able to get a shot when it was in the blue. Getting it out of the zone was Walsh. Cornell now trying to keep the pressure on. Coming in is Jenner with a shot. I believe one of the defenders got a piece of it. Didn't make it all the way to Piper. As the Engineers trying to come up and in, that was Walsh trying to come in, and there was an offsides call as her teammate Jen Walsh was already in the zone. I'm sorry, Lauren Walsh. Here's our face-off. Face-off won by Cornell. Bring it past the blue line. Chipped in was Doring. Engineers want to get it out of there. Trying to center it. Unable to do so as the Engineers push it back behind the net. In the corner. Taken down. Bringing it up with a pass to Horwood. Bringing it in. And a shot. I believe it goes off the pad. I'm not sure where it is. It goes off of the pad of the netminder, Vori. And she's lost her stick. It's behind her net. She's going to take the chance to get it now. Maybe not as the Engineers keep the pressure on. Bringing it up to Bruin. And she just chips it in, able to get a line change. Rooney. Past the center. She's going to chip it in. As we're going to have a call against Cornell. That's going to be the first power play of the game for the Engineers. Let's take a little bit of a look at the statistics. Excuse me. For 2014-2015, the power play for the Engineers is 6.6% at 9 for 137, while the penalty kill for Cornell is 98 for 116 at 84.5. Face-off won by the Engineers. On the close side, Schilter with a slapper. Makes it all the way through to the last defender. Able to bounce off the sticker pad. Wash to the point. Keeping it in, back to Wash. Pass got a deflection in front of the net. Wash again. That penalty was for body checking on Sydney Smith of Cornell. Engineers with it again. Heimerle with a pass to the point and a shot. Almost makes it through as the final defender in the way. Poutier was able to block it before it made it all the way to the netminder. 1:08 remaining in the power play for the Engineers. As the Engineers look to regroup and once again apply the pressure. Bring it up. Woods. Woods passing it back along the boards. As that's going to lead to Bunick going all the way back to get it. Wren. Pass up. Going to get past the blue line. Going to try to set up here with 35 seconds remaining. Still in. As that was Button able to get it out of the zone. Go for a quick line change. Engineers going to try to get one more push in. 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Bringing it up. Past the center line. Past the blue line. Trying to keep it in. In the corner. The Engineers get a shot. That was able to go off the blocker of Vori. Now we're back to even strength, 5-on-5 hockey here. Bring it up as Horwood. Past the blue line. Pass back to Rooney. It's going to be picked up by Cornell. Zorn now bringing it in. Fans on the pass. That's going to be a holding call. It's going to be a holding call, I believe, on the Engineers, and that's going to lead to a Cornell power play. Taking a look at the statistics for that, Cornell power play is 23 for 114, leading to 20.2%, while the Engineers' penalty kill is 85 for 117, being 72.6%. Face-off won by Cornell goes way back, all the way to Vori. She holds it and pushes it to the side. Staying aggressive. Taking off valuable time on this Cornell power play as the Engineers. Keeping it in the zone for all that time was Tomlinson. Cornell now finally moving up. Jenner on the far side. Pass back to O'Connor, excuse me. Back to O'Connor. Pass the far side. Bring it up. The pass right through the center. That pass was intended for Fulton. She was unable to maintain possession of it, and that led to it bouncing back behind the blue line. As the Engineers at this point have successfully killed off just about the first minute of the Cornell power play. And that's going to be an icing call. So the puck's going to have to go all the way back into the Cornell zone. Definitely not what they want on the power play, on the man advantage here. So let's take a look at the shots on goal here. For the Engineers, there are 3. For Cornell, there are 0. So it seems as though Cornell's going to have to try to work a little harder to get the puck all the way through the defenders and to Piper. See what the Engineers try to hold them back with. Bring it up as O'Connor. Pass up. Bunton. Bunton loses it. Back to Bunton. Back to Poudier. With a slapper. And that bounces off of the leg of Svoboda. Svoboda. And she's going to push it out. Another 30 seconds of the power play is killed by the Engineers. They'll go for a line change. Now Poudier. Pass to Veerman, who passed it back to the other side. Another whistle. It looks like that must have been an icing call as the puck goes all the way back to the other side, back in the Cornell defensive zone. Engineers not quite sure if Cornell knows what the power play is here, as the Engineers are able to stay on the offensive during the bulk of it. There are 10 seconds remaining as Cornell looks for one final push. Back behind the net, in the corner, it's Daring. Pass back in the corner, Woods. Woods hanging on. Hanging on. Wren and Woods fighting for possession as the Engineers ultimately able to get it out of the zone and kill off the remainder of the man advantage for Cornell. Bringing it in the zone now, Mahoney. Centering attempt, held up by Bunton. Back in the corner. Behind the net, going for the wraparound with a shot. Shot didn't make it all the way through as it was blocked by the defense there, Woods. In the corner on the other side. Back as the Engineers quickly push it out. Bringing it in, bounces off a linesman. Shot doesn't make it all the way through. I believe it bounced off O'Connor. Held in the corner. As the puck trickles out. Cornell moving up, it's Fulton. Fulton on a 2-on-2 with a centering attempt. Doesn't make it to Skater, almost makes it on net, goes just wide on the far side of Piper. In the corner, back behind the net. On the close side. Back behind the net. As Cornell takes a line change. Bringing it up for the Engineers, Horwood. Horwood held up by Cornell Skater there. Trying to get a number. It looks like she's held up. Her skate seems to be caught on the jersey. So the linesman comes up to fix that. Shot on the other side. Goes off of the blocker of Piper as she holds on. Yeah, that was an interesting scenario there. The skate of the Cornell skater was caught on the jersey of the Engineers skater. And, well, the linesman came in and fixed that up, but a little bit of a weird scenario. Anyway, as we await the face-off on the near side of the ice, Wren passing it all the way around in the far corner, trying to get it out as the Engineers. Wash moving up. Fans on a pass intended for Tomlinson, I'm sorry. Anyway, Cornell now trying to get it in the zone as the Engineers hold them up. That was Wren once again, trying to bring it up the far side out of the zone as the Engineers. Cornell holding on. A lot of slaps going back and forth of the skate, off the skate. Cornell now, Bunton passing it in. She's going to go for the line change. Puck was stopped by Piper. A little bit close, because there was a Cornell skater within arm's reach, I would say. Grushaw passing it down. Just makes it past the blue line, not up to the red line, as Cornell brings it in with a centering. And the Engineers break that up. And a pass was attempted to be made by Saulner. And the Engineers able to slap it all the way down the ice. Bring it back in now is Jenner. Held up by the Engineers defense. We have a 2-on-1 opportunity here on the far side with a shot. Goes off of the chest of the netminder, Vori, back behind the net. It's a 2-on-1 opportunity. Takes the shot, chooses not to pass. That's a fourth shot on goal for the Engineers to the 1 for Cornell at this point. Cornell now bringing it up past the red line. She's not able to fully maintain possession, was Fulton. She almost lost it. And so now the Engineers bringing it up on the far side. She chips it in. The Engineers go for a line change. Cornell now going to try to get back on the offensive. The Engineers won't have any of that. There's a Horwood now bringing it into zone past the blue line. Deeks around. Keeping it in is the Engineers. She takes her down. Cornell now regaining possession. Doring pushes it up. Goes right into the stick of Keimerly. Able to push it back in. Cornell now, once again, back past the red line. Going to chip it in. Around the corner. Goes for a line change. It's Cornell. Engineers now. Past the blue line. That's Grushaw. Held up by Bunton. Now Brown bringing it in. Centering attempt. Comes up short. No one's there for it. Now Veerman. Veerman. Pass to the center. Bunton. Shot doesn't make it all the way through. Held up by one of the skaters in front of the net. Bringing it up now for the Engineers. Near the corner. Pass back. With a shot. No, with a pass and another pass back. Looked like she was preparing for a slapper. Doesn't go for it. Tricks Cornell and me. Engineers now. Chipping it back in. That goes actually on goal. Saved by Vori. Cornell now passing it up. Brown. Pass to the center. Jenner. Jenner deking in. It slides just in front of the goal. As Brianna Piper was inches away from it, it slides just through the crease. Unable to get a shot on was Cornell. And they were really in the zone. That seems to be a trend here almost. Cornell unable to capitalize on opportunities, while the Engineers are still getting opportunities of their own on the other side of the ice. Anyway, Cornell now behind the net. No, that's Mankey. Sirocco. Horwood. Bringing it up now is Fulton on the far side with a shot. Bounced off the outside of the goal. And the puck's able to trickle just past the blue line. It's going to be a line change. Keimerly passing it up. And that's able to get all the way back down the ice. It's Cornell now going to almost trying to take advantage of the line change the Engineers were taking. Back behind the Engineers' net. Wren pushing it forward. Moving up. Tomlinson bringing it up as two Cornell skaters bump into each other. Engineers trying to center it. Trying to center and get a shot on. Unable to do so. 3:40 remaining in the first period of play. Shots 5-1 in favor of the Engineers. Woods. Keeping on the pressure was Godin. Back behind the net. Line change happening. Svoboda coming in 3-on-3 with a shot. Bounces off the stick of Richardson for Cornell. Able to go way over the net. Richardson. Pass back to Woods. Woods now bringing it up the close side. Pass was intended for Veerman. Goes beyond. Icing waved off. Held up near the corner as the Engineers get the trickle. Pass to the center. Unable to hold on as Cornell's moving in. 3-on-2 with a shot. Not able to get it on. Engineers now bringing it back up on the close side. We have a whistle. Looks like there's going to be a tripping call against Cornell. Tripping call against Taylor Woods out of Morden, Manitoba. And there you can see her. So this face-off is going to happen on the Cornell side. 2:40 remaining in the period, so 2 minutes out of that 2:40 is going to be Engineers power plays. The Engineers are going to look to capitalize and get on the board. 0-0 game still. On the far side. At the point. On the close point. Back in, trying to center it. Unable to do so. And a shot goes on goal, and it goes off the pad of Vori. Engineers keeping the pressure. Centering attempt was taken by, I believe, Tomlinson, and the netminder was able to grab it before anyone was able to get a one-timer off that or any type of shot just in front of the net. 1:35 remaining in the Engineers power play. The Engineers able to keep it fully in the zone during the first 25 seconds of the power play here. I'm eager to see what happens during the last 1:35. Face-off by Cornell. Able to get it out of the zone. Now Bunton. Bunton having some trouble from Wren. As the Engineers able to regain possession. Bringing it up now is Mahoney. She's going to chip it in. Smith. Engineers now near the blue line. On the far side. At the point. Where the wrist shot winds up deflecting off of the stick of Bunton. Goes way up and into the netting. And that leads to the whistle. So just about a minute, 1:01 actually, remaining on the advantage for the Engineers. Engineers still able to stay on the offensive here. On the close side, Budamaki. The pass up, and a shot, and it goes in! The shot comes off on the close side. It was a wrister. It was taken, or at least the goal was scored, I believe, by Grushaw. And it was able to come in just on the close side near the blocker, as Vori was unable to move her arm in the direction needed to block that. Able to get just behind her with a bounce. I'm taking another look at it. Actually, looks like it went under the padding, under the leg pads. Grushaw taking the shot. Comes just up over some sticks and under the pad, goes right in. Engineers 1-0 now with 1:20 remaining in the first period of play. Engineers now in the defensive zone. Attempted center and blocked by Fulton. Bringing it up is Saulnier. Engineers now, possible 2-on-1. Coming in on the close side, she's just going to chip it in. That was Walsh. Bunton passing it forward. Deking out in front of the net. That was Brown trying to do a deke, as the engineer was able to hold her back and ultimately take her down, unable to get a good shot off. As we await the face-off on the Engineers' side of the ice. 49.2 seconds remaining in the first period of play. Engineers now bringing it up on the far side. Again, attempted pass to Wash. She's able to get a shot. Just goes wide on the close side. She was just in front there. Pass back to Wash again. Bounces over the stick. Back to Grushaw. Puck trickles out. It's Cornell now going to try to bring it up. Engineers break that up. Bring it back up is Tomlinson. Tomlinson with a shot blocker save. As Cornell able to push it back. Engineers still having it here. 10 seconds remaining. Attempted centering goes just past. Engineers trying to keep it in. And they're going to keep it in for the end of the first period. So at the end of the first period of action here, score is 1-0 in favor of the Engineers. I think a big thing here is shots on goal. If we look at the shots on goal, Cornell has 2 to the Engineers 8. So ultimately, Cornell, what they need to do is get some more shots on goal. Engineers are doing great what they're doing right now, getting those shots, getting chances. That's really the big thing here. Face-off's pretty close here, 7-8 in favor of Cornell. Engineers with that 1 power play goal. 3 shots taken on the power play by the Engineers. They were able to really hold on to that power play, umbrella-like formation, and able to get a lot of shots in. Half the problem with a power play is able to keep it in the zone. The Engineers were able to do that really well, as we saw during that last power play leading up to the goal by Alexa Grusha. Anyway, so that's the first period of action. You're watching Engineers Hockey live on RPI TV. We'll be back in just a few moments with the continuation of this game, period 2, coming up in just a few minutes.
Title IX of the Education Act of 1972, women all across the United States have had greater opportunities to participate in athletics at the collegiate level. Here tonight, we would like to show our support for the female athletes here at Rensselaer by recognizing the 2014-2015 captains. First, from the hockey team, we have Senior Business Management Major Chloe Hutchinson. Junior Civil Engineering Major Angela Cassio. And Senior Mechanical Engineering and EDI Major Molly Zook. From the soccer team, we have Senior Industrial Management Engineering Major Carrie White. Senior Biomedical Engineering Major Taylor Koritko. Senior Biochemistry and Biophysics Major Dana Saylor. Junior Science Tech and Society Major Shelby Stromerson. And Junior Computer and Systems Engineering Major Danielle Tavel. From the tennis team, we have Senior Architecture Major Amanda Alexander. And Senior Industrial Management Engineering Major Casey Olson. From the RPI hockey team, we have Senior Industrial Management Engineering Major Ali Svoboda. Senior Business Management Major Taylor Mahoney. And Junior Business Management Major Mari Mankey. Let's have a nice round of applause for all these female student athletes. Congratulations, ladies. Don't forget to visit the official online store for Rensselaer Polytechnic
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RPI TV. We're awaiting the second period of play here in this ECAC hockey matchup. It's the Engineers versus Cornell. Engineers leading 1-2-0. Before we get into my little breakdown of the last period, I'd like to remind you that you have your internet browser tuned to rpitv.org, and you're watching RPI Women's Hockey live on RPI TV. All of RPI TV's productions are 100% free and 100% staffed by volunteers. All funding is provided by the Rensselaer Student Union and donations from viewers like you. For information on donating, open another tab and visit rpitv.org/donate. So let's talk a little bit about the last period. The official shots on goal counter here says that the Engineers had 8 shots to Cornell's 2. That paints the picture that there aren't necessarily enough shots coming from Cornell on the Engineers netminder. But shot attempts here that I'm looking at on the stat sheet actually paints a similar yet slightly different picture, with the Engineers mustering up 15 shot attempts to the 9 shot attempts that Cornell has. So it's not necessarily that Cornell isn't taking shots. They're just not getting to the net, or getting at least on goal. So I think the big thing that Cornell's going to want to look to do here is take some shots maybe from even closer in the slot area. Maybe even take some more slap shots from the point, especially quick ones off passes from the far side, able to really get a good shot. Anyway, another thing, the Engineers on that power play goal, the power play was looking really good there at the end. I can't emphasize that enough. That power play that resulted in the goal, the Engineers were able to keep it in the zone for more than the majority of that power play. So the Engineers are going to look to keep on the offensive here during this second period of play as we await the puck drop. Face-off won by Cornell. Bringing it up was Saulnier. Engineers now trying to get it back out. Able to do so. Smacked away was Walsh. Able to push it all the way back down the ice. Bringing it back up is Cornell. Past the blue line, Engineers pushing it back on the towards the close side. Bunick pushing it up. Holding the puck against the boards. Poked free is Cornell now. Going to bring it up. Bringing it up the close side is Jenner. Jenner trying to get to the center. The Engineers push it away, bringing it back up the close side. As Cornell once again regains possession. That's knee. Pass to the far. Wash. Now with it, going to try to get past the blue line. She's able to do so on the second attempt. Now almost a one-on-one opportunity. Unable to get it further in the zone was Grushaw. Cornell now bringing it up. She's almost alone as the Engineers just get back. With a shot goes wide on the far side. Engineers were able to hold the pressure in the defensive zone, not allow her to center, or at least get closer to the center into a scoring position. Line change by the Engineers. Cornell now in the corner. Back behind the net. Pushed off with Smith. Back behind the net. Smith again. Smith trying to hold on. Passing it back. Engineers re-dump it back in the zone. Trying to get it was Mankey. Unable to hold on. As Cornell finally able to get it out of the zone. The Engineers were holding it in there for about a minute. Pass to the far side. Unable to hold on at first was Brown. Centering attempt was intended for Bunton. She was unable to get a shot. It was going to go for a one-timer just in the slot, almost taking my advice really soon here. 2:15 into the first period of the second, I should say, period of play. Engineers able to chip it in, go for a line change. Cornell bringing it back in the zone, pushing it just past the blue line to avoid an icing call. Trying to center it was Veerman. No one was there for it besides the Engineers' Walsh. Bringing it up past the blue line. And that's Zorn. Engineers come back. Centering attempt taken. Was blocked by Hillway. Engineers now. Bounces off of the stick of Hilwa. And that's going to be an icing call. So 3 minutes into the game here, we've had about a minute of action in the Engineers zone, followed by a minute of action in the Cornell zone, followed by another minute in the Engineers zone. Very aggressive play by both teams here. Good period of play so far. Let's get some more of it as the Engineers win the faceoff. Centering attempt. Unable to get a good shot on it was Fulton. Fulton tried to get a slapper. Just maybe fanned on it a little bit. Puck comes all the way back down the ice. Now attempting to bring it back in. The Engineers trying to push it back out. Unable to do so as Solner comes in with a pass and a shot. And the shot was from a really close angle there. It was actually behind Piper. Almost if the stick had gone the other way, it could have gone right in. And another shot comes through, and that's going to be a goal for Cornell. Able to even it up here. 16:32 remaining in the second period of play as the tie-up. I believe that goal was by number 17, Emily Fulton of Stratford, Ontario. So the goal seemed to have come from the far side as she was able to get a quick shot in, and Piper was unable to come up big. As the score now even at 1-1. Puck in front of the Engineers bench. Shot taken, goes wide. Maybe it was just a little bit of a dumping. Engineers now, Kimberly. Pass to Middlebrook. Back to Kimberly. Pass up to Wash. Wash unable to hold on. Now Grushaw coming up. Back to the far side. Dumped in as the Engineers get a quick line change. Behind the Cornell net. In the corner. Schilter. Pass back to the corner. That was broken up by Cornell. So the Engineers able to regain possession before leaving the blue line. Engineers now in the corner. Passing it back behind the net. It's Tomlinson passing it up for Grushaw. Grushaw trying to get it out of the corner. Held up by two. Trying to get it out in front near the slot. Unable to do so as Cornell trying to slow down the centering attempts by the Engineers. Engineers and Cornell both taking a line change as the puck comes all the way back down the ice. Engineers maybe going for a little bit of retaliation there with about a minute of close quarters play on the Cornell side of the ice. We're going to get a whistle. So as I said, already this period of play seems to be much more fast-paced, puck getting from both sides of the net much quicker than during the first period as the faceoff will come from their ice. Faceoff won by Cornell. One by bringing it up now. Engineers behind the net. Walsh trying to chip it back. Kimberly trying to hold on. She pushes it forward. As Svoboda able to get it just past the blue line. And that's going to be an offsides. As Poutier was trying to get back in. I believe Solner was just outside of the blue line, leading to that offsides call. As the Engineers now are going to be looking to push it back into Cornell zone. Face-off win by Cornell. Poutier coming in. Centering attempt. Unable to connect with anyone immediately. Jenner coming in. Wasn't able to get it. She just moved it along. As the Engineers now bring it back up on the far side. Trying to break it up was Poutier. Engineers now with a shot from the front. Bounces off the right pad of Vori. Back into zone is Jenner. Coming up as Cornell goes for a line change, trying to get a quick chance in as Cornell sets up from behind. Pass to the point with a slapper. And that makes it right through and into the padding of Brianna Piper. Able to come up big as Cornell was trying to block the vision of Piper so that she couldn't see it. Unable to do that successfully as she comes up with the save. She was in good positioning, comes in on the chest area. Cornell wins the faceoff. In the corner, behind trying to get it behind the net, intercepted by the Engineers. That's going to be Horwood bringing it up, pass to the center. Coming up past the blue line on the far side, coming in quick. She loses it as Mankey tries to get it, unable to do so. She's just a little bit too far ahead of it. Cornell now trying to get it back. Engineers trying to hold it, unable to do so as it trickles just past the blue line and all the way down. Engineers with it again. That's Mankey, unable to hold on. She's taken down by Veerman on the far side of the ice in the blue line. Cornell now, there's going to be a line change for the Engineers. Cornell moving up, that's De Bruin. The pass to the far side, Veerman comes in. I believe that's going to be offsides yet again, as Cornell's trying to make it in. Maybe a little too fast for some skaters as they're just past the blue line. And that leads to the offsides call. 13:06 remaining in the second period of play as we have a tie game here at 1-1. Rensselaer versus Cornell. Face-off win by Cornell. Pass to the close side. Smith. The pass up to Bunton. Back behind the net is Schilter. In the corner. Or should I say outside of the corner. Against the boards here. Holding it in. Engineers able to get it back out. As it looked like O'Connor was trying to get a slapper. The Engineers now coming in quick. Wash coming in trying to center it. Pass intended for Grushaw. Unable to come up big. As Cornell's going to come back down. Similar fashion. Pass to Brown. Unable to get a shot. Maybe she fanned just a little bit. As Kimberly passes it up. We're past the blue line. 3-on-2 for the Engineers with a shot taken. The shot goes into the glove of Paula Voorhees. And that's the save. Some quick action there as the Engineers come in on a sort of a quick play towards the net. And then quickly thereafter, Cornell was able to return the favor with very similar fashion. As we await the face-off here on the far side of the ice. 12:19 remaining. Engineers coming to center. Shot goes over the glove of Vori. Kimberly, pass up to the blue line, chipped in. Back behind the net. In the corner, Fulton. Fulton going to try to move it forward with a pass to Salner. Salner now coming in. She's unable to maintain full-on possession. That's now Walsh passing it up. Or should I say Cornell keeping it in. Salner with a pass to the point with a shot. Bounces off of the leg of Mahoney. At the point again, Arister bounces in and saved by Piper. And coming in again, and a shot was taken by Cornell. I believe that was number 11, Brianne Jenner. Able to come up, pass to that slot area. You don't want the puck to be there. Scoring opportunities happen there all the time. As the puck was able to just trickle in, I believe between the legs of Brianna Piper, leading to a 2-1 game. Cornell getting 2 goals here during this period of play, as the Engineers are going to look to try to regain some of that aggression from the earlier part of this period. You definitely don't want to have the wind almost taken out of you with so much hockey left to play in this game here. That's going to be an icing call. So the puck's going to go all the way back down the ice to the Cornell side. Perfect chance for the Engineers to get back on that attack. Try to even up the game here, 1-2. Make it 2-2 for the Engineers if they're able to come up big. And that's what they're looking to do, I guarantee it. Face-off won by Cornell in their own zone. In the corner. Pass to the center. And the Engineers now back up. Back behind the blue line. Holding it in is Wren, along with De Bruin. It trickles out as they do a similar fashion in the corner. It's Wren again, able to push it forward. Pass was intended for Horwood, unable to come up big on it. It's Cornell with it again. They're going to push it right back into the corner. Now Wren. Engineers trying to get it back out. Pass behind the net. To Bruin. Pass the far side. Unable to get it. This is number 18, Jess Brown. She was trying to keep it in the zone, unable to do so as the puck makes it all the way down the ice. Engineers now trying to keep it in or trying to get it in the Cornell zone, trying to get in some type of offensive formation. Wash pushing it forward with a shot or some type of deflection happened in front of the net. It winds up going wide on the far side. I believe it was taken by number 14, Tomlinson, able to get a deflection just in front of the net near the slot. They're back in the corner, behind the net. Passed up forward, cut off by Middlebrook. Knee. Bringing it up, Bunton now. Bunton one-on-one. And poked away, it seems, by Kimmerly. Shots on goal, 10-6 in favor of the Engineers still. Though Cornell is getting more shots this period than the Engineers are. Engineers had more last period. Behind the Engineers net. And she loses it to Smith. Engineers regain. Zollner coming in at a weird angle. Coming in, takes a shot, bounces off the stick of Piper. She almost goes for it with the glove, unable to grab it though in midair. Coming in for the wraparound. And a shot. And that goes in. It was a wraparound. It was coming. And that was O'Connor on the wraparound. At first, she takes the initial shot. I'm not sure if it went on net or not. But then the second shot, almost the rebound, taken, I believe, by Jenner. As she gets, I believe, her second goal of the night. Now, this play's under review here. Maybe they might be thinking that the puck may have been played a little bit too close to the net, too much in the blue zone. I'd like to remind you that you're watching Engineers Women's Hockey live on RPI TV. I'm Charlie Matchelo. I'm on the call as we await the review here by the officials. Once again, I believe that it may have been that Jenner may have been a little bit too much into Brianna Piper's net zone. So as we await the official call on the matter, if Cornell, if this winds up counting for Cornell, this will be a 3-1 game with Cornell getting 3 goals in this period. As we await, here comes the referee. He says no goal, much to the liking of the Engineers fans and pep band, and of course to the dislike of the Cornell fans. So yeah, it must have been that she was a little bit too close, taking a shot from such an area of the goal. As one of the Cornell coaches talks to the referee and linesman about it. And we'll be able to resume play momentarily here. Score 1-2 as that goal gets waved off. 1-2, better than 3-1 for the Engineers, as they're still in this. Cornell now in front of the net with a shot. The shot, it's a scramble in front of the net. Trying to gain possession was Piper. There were many shots coming in just in front as her pads were able to come up big on the bulk of them. And the puck was able to trickle along on the far side. Ultimately getting out of the zone. That's not a type of place you want to be as a goaltender. The puck's in front of you. You don't really know where it is, almost. Things happening very fast. Cornell now bringing it in, back behind the net. Zollner trying to regain possession. Schilter hitting it away, back in the corner. It's going to be Fulton. Fulton with some type of centering attempt. That's going to be caught in midair in outfield fashion by the netminder Brianna Piper for the Engineers. That's going to be a stoppage in play here with 7:56 remaining in the second period of play. Engineers 1 to Cornell 2. Here's our faceoff on the far side. Faceoff Cornell keeping it in. Shot taken. Trying to deflect it in front of the net. Unable to do so. Winds up going wide on the far side. Trickles all the way back. And Knee's going to have to go back to get it. But she doesn't necessarily realize that Rooney was coming up behind her. She was taking her time. She had to speed up as Rooney was coming up at full speed. In front of the bench. Woods chipping it up. That's going to be an icing as she takes it from a little bit too far out of the zone. It's going to lead to a face-off on the Cornell side of the ice. Engineers are going to look for some quick scoring chances here with 7:22 remaining. Plenty of time, plenty of hockey to be played here at the Houston Fieldhouse. In the corner. Behind the net, bringing it up is Cornell. Back to Zorn. Zorn trying to move it forward. Puck left behind. Puck was seemed to be caught in equipment for a moment. As some of the Engineers here looking for a call. It doesn't come up. Behind the Engineers' net, smack back to Wash. Wash now, bring it up past the corner. Just past the corner now against the boards. Wash pushing it back the other way. Bunton bringing in. Unable to hold on. It's Kimberly now. Wash back along that board. Kimberly going to push it all the way back along the ice. Stopped by O'Connor, trying to keep it in the zone. With a wraparound and a shot, I believe it goes off of a stick. Goes way up and lands on the far side. Maybe trying it again with a shot to the front, and a redirection was taken by Doring. Unable to come up on net as it goes wide on the close side. Engineers now bringing it back up. Coming up, puck bounces up almost into the bench. Looked like from my angle. Pushing it up was Middlebrook. As Cornell now bringing it back in the zone. Engineers going to try to move up during this line change for Cornell. And she smacks it in. That's Svoboda. Engineers now behind the net. Going for a pass with a shot. Goes off of the chest of Vori. Now the Engineers maybe in a wraparound situation. Pass to the close side. Bunick. Cornell able to regain as Fulton pushing it all the way back down. The Engineers had some chances there with almost 5 minutes remaining in the second period of play. Puck doesn't make it all the way down fast enough for an icing call as the Engineers take advantage of that and go for the line change. Cornell now bringing it up. That's Fulton. Fulton loses it. Now we're back to Banks. Banks now pushes it forward. Cornell defense regains possession. Now bringing it back in is Fulton again. Fulton coming in with Jenner. Pass intended for Jenner doesn't come up big as it was held up by Hilwa. Cornell keeping it in. Wren pushes it forward past the front. Past the close side. Cornell pushes it right back in. Past the far side. Going to chip it up over the defense just to ensure that it gets past that blue line. Engineers try to move it forward. Cornell pushes back. We're in front of the Rensselaer bench. Cornell now in a 3-on-1 opportunity. Pass to the far side with a pass to the center. And it was held up by the Engineers. It was held up by the defense. She came down and was able to block it with a stick. And the pass wasn't able to come up big. That allowed Piper to stay in position. Anyway, the Engineers got a shot from a very odd angle on the Cornell netminder. She's able to get it, and well, she didn't really hold on, but she held on just long enough for a call to be made. And that's probably a good thing for the Cornell skaters, as the Engineers were coming in hot. Shots on goal now 11-9, with Cornell catching up here. I believe that's now 7 shots on goal that have actually made it to the goal. in this period, with the Engineers getting 3 so far. 3:34 remaining. Face-off win by the Engineers. Trying to keep it in as Wash. Playing with it. Makes it just past the line. We have some sort of 1-on-2. And that was turned aside by Piper. Middlebrook was in good position there. Unable to make a cross-ice pass through the center. Shot taken, Piper in good position. As Kimberly passes forward to Tomlinson. And she's just going to dump it in and go for a line change. Now Poutier. Pass to Bunton. Bunton chips it in. Leads to a Cornell line change. As Walsh coming up. They're able to get a shot from just about the blue line. Easy save for Vori. Bounces off the pad, then just holds onto it with the glove. Engineers, I believe there were 3 or so of them coming in to only 2 or so of the Cornell defense. Good time to hold on to the puck. Go for this reset here. So we await the face-off on the Cornell side of the ice. Jenner thrown out. Fulton wins the face-off, I should say. Engineers centering with a shot from just outside the slot. Doesn't make it fully on net. Kind of goes wide. A little bit of a fan. Walsh now trying to get it again. 2 Cornell skaters holding it on behind the net. Jenner. Pass to the close side. As Cornell wants to get it out of there. Engineers were holding it in for over a minute. On the far side, Cornell coming in, playing with it, with a pass to the back, with a shot on the backhand goes, I believe, got a piece of it, just a little bit, was Piper, as it winds up going wide on the far side. That was a pretty looking play, I have to say. She was coming in and goes for a back pass, and the backhand shot taken while almost going backwards. Interesting play. And there's a tripping call here. Tripping on the Engineers. That's going to be on Bunick. So this is going to be a 2-minute power play for Cornell. That's going to take us all the way through the end of this second period of play and bring us 7 seconds into the third period. Face-off won by Cornell. On the far side, pass to close. O'Connor. Back to the far circle. Engineers trying to smack at it. Tomlinson able to push it all the way back down. Still fighting for it is Grushaw. Now bringing it up is Salner. Coming up. She's taken down. Slipped, it seems. Cornell now. In a triangle formation. At the point. Past the far side. Back to Fulton. 1 minute. With a shot from just in front of the goal. Goes off the pad of Piper in good position. Able to make the save come up big. With 1 minute remaining in the power play. 50 seconds remaining in the period. Fulton with a shot. I believe a glove save by Piper. Another slapper. Goes off of the bar. Another save. That save off a shot by Jenner. As the Engineers really need to get it out of there. Piper putting on a clinic in terms of saves in the last few minutes here. Both teams go for a line change, just under 20 seconds remaining in the period. Engineers now behind the net, got to go for a quick offensive opportunity. As it trickles all the way back, Cornell now. Woods trying to get a shot. Unable to get all of it as it bounces off of Schilter's skate and winds up going wide on the close side. So with that in mind, we're at the end of the second period of action here. Score 1-2 in favor of Cornell. Cornell able to come up with 2 unanswered goals during that period. So let's talk a little bit about shots. shots now on goal are 11-13 in favor of Cornell, with Cornell getting just about 10 shots on goal that period. The Engineers only getting 3. Cornell taking shots. You need shots to score goals, and they were taking shots that were making it all the way through to the goal. So also beyond that, it's actually pretty interesting. Cornell's able to come up big on faceoffs with 20 faceoff wins to the 11 that the Engineers have. Faceoffs really big, especially when you're in the offensive zone. Able to get a faceoff win usually can lead to a good shot and scoring opportunity, as Cornell is taking advantage of that here. Anyway, with period 2 down, period 3 to go, you're watching Engineers Hockey live on RPI TV. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to RPI TV. We're waiting the third period of action here, Rensselaer versus Cornell in ECAC women's hockey action. I'd like to remind you that you have your internet browser tuned to rpitv.org and you're watching RPI women's hockey live on RPI TV. All of RPI TV's productions are 100% free and 100% staffed by volunteers. All funding is provided by the Rensselaer Student Union and donations from viewers like you. For information on donating, open another tab and visit rpitv.org/donate. So let's talk about the scoring plays last period. 2 goals for Cornell. The Engineers staying with 1. 1 goal is going to be credited to Brianne Jenner. The other one credited to Jillian Salner. Ultimately leading to a 2-1 game for Cornell. Now, an interesting thing, during the first period, I talked about how the Engineers have been getting a lot more shots on goal. Now, that seems to have been reversed during the second period, with the shots on goal coming up in favor of Cornell. Ultimately now, shots being really close at 11-13. Still in favor of the Engineers, but only by a mere 2 margin. Those shots ultimately coming up big for Cornell as they're able to get 2 goals during that period. Score 1-2 now. And the Engineers still have that 1 power play goal scored during the first period. Another thing to watch is going to be face-offs, with Cornell going to be putting in some big effort to get the face-offs won when they're in the offensive zone, able to get a quick chance in, as shown by their 20 face-off wins to the Engineers' 11 total so far. That was a lot closer during the first intermission. So we're going to begin the third period of play here with the last 7 seconds of the Cornell power play, and we're underway. As the Engineers shoot it up and into the Cornell box. Faceoff's going to come just in front of Piper on the far side. 2 seconds remaining for the Cornell advantage. They're going to look for a quick scoring chance, quick pass, maybe a one-timer. And here's our faceoff. Faceoff won by Cornell, coming in with a shot, bounces off the side of the leg. The Engineer coming back in, out of the box, with a shot on the backhand, goes and hits off of the pad, winds up going wide on the far side. Save made by Vori. She was coming just out of the box, came in for that one-on-none advantage. Engineers now trying to keep it in the zone, unable to do so as it winds up trickling by. Cornell now coming up as Salner behind the net. Salner still with it. Pass to Brown. Brown at a weird angle. Cornell doing a line change. She's holding on, though. Trying to pass behind the net, unable to maintain Cornell possession. Or maybe I spoke too soon, as Cornell once again has it. They're back behind the net. Coming out in front with a centering opportunity. Engineers break that up before it was a little bit too late. Almost getting a good scoring position on the far side. Open shot to the net. The Engineers break that up. Cornell now pushing it forward. The Engineers hold that back. Now bringing it up the close side. Walsh pushing it forward. Cornell regains. It's Doring. Passed it forward. Back in the corner. Behind the net. Behind the net, you have 2 Engineers, 1 Cornell. Engineers gain possession. Cornell passing to the front with a shot. She goes down, trying to take the shot with the long arm. Unable to get a good one in. As she went all out, going down to get that little extra arm reach and go for the shot. Ultimately coming up big. It was the Engineers and Piper. Now bringing it up. Horwood. Horwood with a nice wrist shot. Goes up and hits the blocker of Vori. Pass intended for Zorn. Break that up, said the Engineers. On the close side. Centering pass, unable to come big, as the Engineers now bring it back up on the far side. Coming up, centering. Centering attempt broken up. Engineers regain with a slapper. Goes off the pad. Rebound. Rebound was held onto by Vori. A little bit of roughing in front of the net. As one of the Cornell skaters goes down. Going for the rebound on that play moments ago was Raspa for the Engineers, trying to get a rebound. I'm not sure if she was able to get one, or if it was just that the pad was blocking all opportunities right in front there. Face off, won by Cornell. Back behind the nets, Pourier. Pass to the close side, Fulton. Fulton past the blue line, coming in with a pass to the center, and a shot goes wide on the close side. The shot, I should say, may have been taken just a moment too late to get a good shot. Backhand attempt comes up, goes off the pad, almost went 5-hole. We have a tripping call. That tripping call, I believe, is going to go against the Engineers. It's going to go against Taylor Mahoney. We're going to get a face-off on the Engineers side. Close circle. It's going to be 2 minutes on the PK for the Engineers. Cornell wins the face-off at the point. At the point. Pass to the far side. Back to the point. Moving in on the close side near the corner. Back to the point. That's O'Connor. Pass to Schallner. O'Connor with a slapper. Bounces off the skate of Tomlinson, as the Engineers able to smack it right back down the ice, killing off the first half minute of the power play. Engineers get that line change. Cornell now moving in past the blue line on the far side. Coming up behind the net, maybe going for a wraparound. Pass to the close side. Attempted centering was taken by Fulton, unable to get it as she fanned on it. Engineers now coming back up. Held on to by O'Connor, though she's taken down. Another 30 seconds killed by the Engineers. Engineers trying to get it out. It was held up by Fulton, though ultimately the Engineers come up. Here's a 2-on-1. Horwood coming in, takes a shot. That's going to be glove save by Vori. We have 48 seconds remaining on the man advantage for Cornell. We're in the Cornell zone. If the Engineers are able to win the faceoff, they may be able to get into an offensive opportunity on the shorthanded here. Cornell wins the faceoff. Coming up, past the blue line. Woods coming in with a shot. Hits the pads and into the glove of Piper. Now 35 seconds remaining. The Engineers are going to want to do a quick face-off win followed by a quick smack all the way back down the ice. Don't want to allow Cornell to get into the offensive opportunity here. And the puck comes all the way back down the ice. Somewhat of a save. As Big Red moves up. Past the blue line. With a shot from the far side. Turned aside by Piper. Where the shot goes wide. Veerman. Pass to the point. Back to Veerman. Pourier at the point. 3 seconds left. Shot taken. It winds up deflecting upward off the stick of Banks. Slides just in front of the net. Where the shot goes wide. Engineers trying to bring it up. They probably want a line change after all that. Cornell's able to get one. The Engineers are probably going to chip it forward. Makes it up to Rooney. She slides down. As Big Red's going to come back in. Centering attempt blocked. From behind the net. It's going to be Bunick. Try to push it forward. Engineers now try again. Schilter. Moving it forward, stopped by O'Connor. Engineers with a shot. Wrist shot goes right into the glove of Vori, as she was pretty much all alone just in front of the slot area, able to take that wrist shot. With Vori able to come up big here. Here's our face-off. Not quite sure who won that, but Engineers now behind the net. Cornell regains. Zorn moving up. He's trying to be held up by Mahoney. Mahoney now pushing it forward off the boards. Moving it back down, all the way down. As we have Veerman now passing to the far side. Back to the close side. Houtier in the corner. Held up in the corner. Now we're out of the corner. We're against the boards near the circle. Back behind the Engineers net. Moving up. Engineers now 3-on-2 opportunity if she can get ahead at it. And she slides in. Vori's going to hold on. Definitely the right decision there with multiple Engineers coming in. Perfect time to hold on to the puck. Don't allow any rebounds or any scoring opportunities for the opposition. Shots on goal 17-16 as the Engineers just ahead by one shot now. 12:50 remaining in this game. Score 1-2 in favor of Big Red. Just outside the corner. Trickles out. Engineers trying to keep it in. Turned aside by Vori. Moving forward's knee. Trying to get it out of there. Bounces over. Engineers taking a shot. A shot with a deflection. The shot was taken by Wren. Deflection just in front of the net. Bounces the puck up and into the padding of Vori. Here's going to be our face-off. Face-off won by Cornell. Engineers moving up and in. Takes a shot. It goes right into the glove of Vori. That was a great shot. I really like the way it worked. She was very close. Able to still get it up in the air. Just enough to get the glove about 3 inches higher. Would have trickled right over and in. As the Engineers getting some shots in here. Cornell moving up. Jenner. Pass to the far side. It's O'Connor. O'Connor loses it to Tomlinson. Pass to Wash. Moving it up. Moving up to the center with a shot. Fans on it. Fanned on it was Grushaw. Engineers trying to move it forward. Winds up deflecting off a skater. And just about into the bench of Cornell as everyone's going to go for a line change here. 11:47 remaining in the game. 20 shots for RPI to 16 for Cornell. We're going to have a face-off from center ice. Face-off won by the Engineers. Trying to get in the zone, unable to do so. Held up by some physicality near the blue line as the Engineers try to push it forward. Leads to an offsides call. We have the face-off just outside the blue line on the far side. Here's our face-off. Face-off won by Cornell. On the close side is Poutier. Trying to lose Svoboda was Poutier. Pass to the center. Shot taken. Maybe fanned on it a little, unable to get all of it. Shot taken. Bounces off of the pad/stick of Piper as it goes up and into the netting. That leads to a whistle with 11:17 remaining in the third period. Line changes all around as both teams want to have their most fresh players out in such a situation here. Time running lower as the Engineers looking to even up the board at 1-2. And we're behind the net. Taken down was Jenner. We're in the quarter. Couple skaters down. Moving up with a shot. Doesn't make it all the way through the first time. Almost got a rebound. Doesn't come up big. Engineers moving up is Wash. Pass back. Tomlinson. The shot goes wide on the far side. Engineers push it right back in. Cornell now. Zorn pushing it forward. Engineers push back. Wash plays with it just outside the blue line, I believe. That's what led to that offsides call, as some people in the stands here didn't see it that way. Looks like we're going to get a face-off from center ice. Face-off won by Cornell. O'Connor. O'Connor was held up by Woods. The Engineers dump it in. Around the net. Richardson pushing it up. Trying to grab at it was Brown. Unable to do so. The puck took a weird slow down. Pushing it back in. Going for it is Banks. Cornell with it. Trying to gain possession. Looks like it may have a chance here for Walsh. Coming in on a one-on-one. Trying to push it forward. Bounces off the skate with a shot. Turned aside by Voorhees. Tomlinson. Svoboda. Pushing it back in. They're behind the net. The Engineers want to get it out in front. Trying to make a pass to Svoboda. And that pass comes up and was turned away by Bunton. The Engineers keep it in the zone. With a pass. Bounces off a skate. Bounced off the skate of, I believe, Brown. Almost turning into a shot in and of itself. And an opportunity. Didn't quite see the puck for a moment as it wound up turning away on the far side. Engineers now coming in with a centering attempt. No one was there for it. The pass to Schilder and a shot. Shot winds up being deflected off of Richardson. In the corner now. Engineers have been on the offensive for over 2 minutes now. Engineers taking a shot, bounces way up in the air, hits off of the leg of Brown, I believe. Engineers now regrouping. She dumps it in. Now Grushaw. Big Red, 2-on-2. In the corner. Now we have Fulton. Fulton held up. As the Engineers now back. Wash coming in. Past the blue line. Comes down. Bierman moves it up with a pass to the center. Coming up on the far side. The pass to the center and a shot. Unable to get the shot all the way was Smith in the slot. Very good scoring opportunity if she was able to connect on the shot. Unable to do so, though. It's Cornell now behind the net. In the corner. Pass to the far. Moving towards the corner again. As we have Jenner. Cornell. That's the point with a shot. The shot bounces off of the skate of Horwood. Cornell coming in. They're just in front of the slot with a shot bounces off the leg of the netminder. She's able to turn that one away. I'm not sure if a rebound came through. Cornell trying to come in again. The Engineers holding him back. Pushing it back to the corner is the Engineers, as they don't want to allow another chance like that with 7:12 remaining here. Not much time. The Engineers definitely don't want another one on Cornell's tally, as the Engineers now push it forward. Coming in is Horwood, held up by Woods. Woods passing it up with a slapper and turned aside by Piper. In the corner, Cornell taking a shot from the side, winds up bouncing off, and then a shot from the front goes in. I believe that was a rebound. Rebound of the first shot, which was held. So that goal, I believe, is going to go for number 26, which is Caitlin Doring out of Waterloo, Ontario. So it seemed like the shot came from the side, on the close side, was turned away first by Piper, and then the rebound was able to come in from the far, was able to come in and just trickle by. That puts Cornell up to 3 to the Engineers 1. In the Cornell zone. Engineers. Raspa with a shot. Goes off the stick of Vori. Smith pushing it forward with a pass to Brown. Brown unable to hold on as the Engineers push right back. Engineers push forward as Middlebrook with a check of some sort. Some physicality shown in front of the Engineers bench. As she's having some trouble getting off the ice. Cornell now in the Engineers zone with a pass to the close side, and a slapper taken goes wide on the close side. Or on the near side, maybe. Cornell at the point with a slap. Bounces off of the Cornell skater. That was Salner. Engineers now moving in. It was Tomlinson. Grushaw trying to hold on, but Richardson was down, holding on. The shot was taken, turned aside, off the blocker by Vori. As Cornell's going to move it back down. We have a one-on-one for Fulton. Fulton slows down, makes it a 2-on-1. As the Engineers hold on to it, Fulton goes down. The Engineers are going to try to get it out here. Almost just about 5 minutes remaining in the game as the Engineers are going to look to make some more offensive scoring plays to try to get back on the board. Haven't been on the board since the first period, where it's turned to more of a Cornell game in the past 2-3. Cornell now moving in with a shot off the pad. Rebound attempt fanned on the close side. We have O'Connor. O'Connor pushes it around the net. Zorn still trying to get it. She falls down as the Engineers try to gain. Cornell behind, moving around. Centering attempt blocked. As the Engineers now want to get it out. Able to do so. Moving up is Walsh. Walsh coming in. She's being held up by Poutier. Poutier now coming back in the other direction to Zorn. Close side, she's just going to dump it in as they go for the line change, they being Cornell, as the Engineers now near the corner. Engineers push it forward. Pass intended for Mahoney was turned away by one of the Big Red. Cornell now pass to the center, just in front of the slot, unable to get a shot. Now Woods. The pass to Richardson. Passing it forward, it goes all the way down to the far blue line, all the way for Schilter, who slides back. Two players go down. It appeared to be off a check or a cross check, it seems, according to the referee. That's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a 2-minute penalty for cross-checking with 3:36 remaining in the game. It's not going to be much time for the Engineers to get on the offensive here, but they have shown some decent offensive chances on the penalty kill, so it's still anybody's game. But Engineers now on the penalty kill. Cross-checking penalty was on Raspa for the Engineers. 4-on-5 hockey in favor of Cornell with 1:36 remaining in the game after that'll end. Engineers want to get it out of the zone. Take down the Cornell skater. O'Connor pushing it forward. Engineers moving up. We have a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Engineers and a poke check, a well-placed poke check, may I add, by Poutier. He's able to push it right back into the Engineers zone pretty quickly. Engineers, I don't believe, were able to get a line change that they may have wanted from that. On the far side, pass to the slot with a shot, and it's able to go past Piper, and then a second shot was able to be taken while it was past Piper and push it right in the goal, I believe on a backhand. That goal appears to be scored by Salner for Cornell, bringing us up to a 1-4 game in favor of Big Red. Ultimately, that came down to taking a shot and going for the rebound. You have someone in front, the rebound's much more likely to get you on the board than that regular shot. So whenever you can get that rebound, it seems as though the more rebounds you get, the better chance you have. Cornell taking that advice into effect as we now have a 4-1 game with Cornell getting 4 unanswered goals during the second and third. Moving in, centering, turned aside by the Engineers. Moving up is Mahoney, past the far side. Shot taken from far. Mahoney trying to get a rebound, unable to do so. As Big Red begins to move back. Pass to Bunton. Bunton moving up. Past the corner. Being held up by Middlebrook. Now we're going to be held just outside the corner on the far side. As we have a couple of each team fighting for the puck. Engineers with it. Bring it past the blue line. Going to try to get another scoring opportunity with 2 minutes remaining in the game. Veerman for Cornell able to push it back up. Engineers regain possession. Pass to the close side to Schilter. Moving it up past the blue line. Cornell won't have any of that as they push him right back. Coming up is Doring. Engineers break it up with 4 shots able to be taken. Pass to the close side. Engineers trying to move up. Moving up, pushing it up with Wash with the pass to Tomlinson. Tomlinson, Wash. Wash moving up, 4-on-1. As the other Engineer skaters were going for a line change. Wren coming back. That's going to be an icing call on Cornell. With 1:10 remaining in the game, score 1-4 in favor of Big Red. Face-off won by Cornell. Bringing it up. Engineers defense. Attempting to pass. Cornell now coming up with a shot. Bounces off the outside of the netting. The shot was taken by Bunton with another attempt. I don't believe it made it all the way through to the net. As we're now in the corner on the close side, 40 seconds remaining. Wren passing it forward to Horwood as Cornell's able to break it up. Now Veerman coming up past the blue line, taken down was number 18, Jess Brown. She's trying to get up. It's a hard check there on the blue line. We now get an icing call. As Brown's now being looked at by the trainer on the bench. There's a tough check taken on the blue line. Face-off's going to be near the Engineers' goal on the far side. In the corner. Bring it around. Down the line. That's going to be the end of the game. End of the game. Final score 4-1 in favor of Big Red. Really, my big breakdown for this has to come down to shots. The Engineers getting more shots than Cornell by more than double during the first period of play. Ultimately, Cornell, though, coming in with more shots than the Engineers, I believe, in both periods, 2 and 3. And those shots, of course, lead to those scoring chances. And Well, the game ends here at 4-1 in favor of Cornell. You know, similar things can be said about faceoffs, with Cornell coming up big with 30 faceoffs to the Engineers' 20. You know, and a faceoff win in the offensive zone is just about a step away from a scoring opportunity, which is a closer step away from a goal. So the Engineers 1 for 2 on power plays, Cornell 2 for 4. The Engineers 1 goal during the first period during the power play. The Cornell 2 goal. The last goal was during the power play and an earlier goal also. Cornell got 10 power play shots as we have the Rensselaer stick salute. This game is in the books here, 4-1 Cornell. Join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the final regular season game for the Engineers. It's going to be Rensselaer versus Colgate. We'll have that game live for you tomorrow on RPI TV. I believe puck drop at 4. Feel free to join us. It'll be a good one. And it's also senior night, so we get to pay tribute to the seniors leaving us. So with all of that, final score 4-1. I thank you very much for watching, and have a great night.